Hey everybody, Maddie here with Altcoin Buzz. Happy weekend indeed. This space just keeps getting bigger and better and bigger and better and bigger and better. You know, we've heard all along that the altcoin market is going to follow the Bitcoin bull run, the altcoin bull cycle that is, but it's hard to be convinced right now that they're not happening simultaneously. The gains that we're seeing right now in altcoins, I mean, good Lord, if this is a precursor of what is to come, I can't even extrapolate into how incredible and how life-changing some of these numbers are already looking in these early stages. Taking a look here, you can see that the whole crypto market cap is up another 4.7% today, over 680 billion. And guys, there's some examples that I'm about to pull up that, are just, you almost have to pinch yourself when considering these numbers. And one of these tokens, actually, GRT, the Graph, was one of our earlier picks from last week. We pointed this out at a very early stage, up 96.3% on the day to nearly 50 cents. And all of a sudden, you may have never heard of this, they've jumped up now. They're ranked, I think it's just below Zilliqa at the time of this recording. Currently ranked number 45 with a market cap of $582 million. Take a look at the 24-hour here performance, not too bad at all. The 7-day performance from just about 13 cents or so to now close to 50 cents. Taking a look at some of the publicity here, the Graph, at Graph Protocol. The Graph network is officially live. People all over the world are coming together to build a vibrant, decentralized future on top of crypto networks. Join the movement and come build the future you want to live in. Check out thegraph.com. We're going to get in a second to the video, again, from a few days ago, in which we highlighted the Graph, ticker GRT, as a token that you must keep on your radar. And we were subjectively impressed by it, excited about it, because we used services from thegraph.com to help build up the analytics for Unbound Finance. So we knew firsthand that there was something special, but this has exceeded even our expectations. Dan O here on Twitter, why I believe Graph Protocol GRT is one of the most important protocols in the blockchain ecosystem. And this is a bit of a longer thread, an educational one. He begins with some definitions of why he views it to be so important. So we're going to link to this in the description below. In the interest of time, there is so much to get to today, but do check out our video here on the Graph. This is from actually more than a week ago, the 8th of December now, but we highlighted GRT as one of our top 5 upcoming cryptocurrencies with a working product. So very important here, and something that has just exploded in the way that only a successful altcoin can explode. Guys, if you are not following our leads, it's never financial advice, but we do present information that you can use at your discretion one way or another, financially or otherwise. If you are not following our advice, if you're not part of the discussion, you are simply missing out. It's that simple. You're missing out. So be sure, we're going to link in the comments below. In fact, I'm going to pin a comment to our Telegram trade signal group. If you're not part of the discussion, you're missing out. Just a groundswell here for some of our favorite altcoin projects here, highlighted by Lunar Crush. Zilliqa topping the 50 cent mark, XRP, of course, Bitcoin as well, in good company here. Electroneum is on this list, VeChain, Litecoin, and others. Taking a look at Zilliqa now in these last 24 hours, up 15%. I said 50 cents just a moment ago. I got carried away. Perhaps one day, but now over 5 cents, about 5.1 cents. Again, that is up 15% on the day. Just absolutely meteoric growth right here. Commenting about Zilliqa, we have Amrit Kumar here. Woohoo! Zil staking contract has now locked over US $200 million. We've reported, in fact, in the past that not only do people have Zilliqa staked at a rate that is much higher and much more significant than other projects, but that staking APY is also much more rewarding than other projects. You take those two metrics and those two statistics together, it speaks to the confidence that the community has in Zilliqa, and with good reason, justifiably so. Changelly PRO here. We are delighted to announce that Zilliqa has been listed on Changelly PRO. Starting today, users will have access to the ZIL BTC trading pair, and you can read more about that on changelly.com. Another wildly successful project, maybe I should say, in terms of performance, is Litecoin. LTC is up 11.7% on the day. It seems like just yesterday we were talking about when they broke through Litecoin, that is $100, now over $120, and really starting to find its footing as a premier Litecoin, kind of regaining some of the previous momentum that it's had. And, kind of just going through the numbers here, if you look at the last year, Litecoin has had a bit of a tough run, dipping, actually, if you you can imagine, it's hard to think about this now, but Litecoin at a low here on that Friday the 13th event of somewhere in the range of $30 or so. And kind of going back to the 3-month snapshot, we can see that the Litecoin price has been climbing very steadily and more lately, very quickly. Of course, it's been rocketing. I'm beginning to think that Litecoin is starting to catch up to its true Bitcoin value, because taking a look back, again, zooming back out to the year, Litecoin used to be quite a bit closer. Let's zoom even further back to the maximum. Litecoin used to be much closer to Bitcoin in terms of its correlation, in terms of Satoshis. As you can see, $122, but Litecoin right now, as of this recording, is at about 51,000 Satoshis. And I think people are starting to remember that Litecoin is a solid project led by a solid team. So you can see in the last 30 days, this correlation to the Bitcoin price is something that Litecoin is catching up to, whereas the further out you zoom, I think there was perhaps a discorrelation, or there was some kind of a breakage there for the longest time. Litecoin was almost like the forgotten orphan of that pair, the younger sibling that didn't get its respect. And all of a sudden, the younger sibling is starting to grow up, starting to put on some mass and some muscle, and it's getting some, I think, deserved attention once again. So Litecoin, another project that's just exploding here in this early altcoin market. The mind is boggled when we think about where this could all go. One of our favorites here is KardiaChain, ticker KAI, up 17.7% on the day to now over 2.4 cents US. KardiaChain here on Twitter. Join our journey towards an accessible blockchain for millions. Save the date, the 29th of December, 2020. That's the mainnet date, so that's coming up very quickly. A lot of people are, of course, excited about that. This tweet, by the way, back from the 7th of December, but just reminding everybody here from yesterday, KardiaChain, we are thrilled to announce our next 5 traditional enterprise partners to join our validator list, as mentioned yesterday on Cointelegraph. These companies are the market leaders in their industry. LGCNS, Gilex, Imco, HPT, Mylin, and Big Cat, hashtag Mainnet. Another one of our favorites, of course, is Tomochain. They're up 4.7% on the day, even outpacing Bitcoin, now at 86 cents, over the 86 cent mark. And here we have this update. Tomochain inks a partnership with the Ministry of Education and Training to secure Vietnam's entire education sector on the Tomo blockchain, all 1.5 million diplomas per year. And number 2, Vietnam formalizes blockchain as part of its Tech 4.0 mandate. Hashtag Vietnam adopts Tomo in 2021. And this, of course, in reference to this tweet, which is highlighted, the Vietnamese Prime Minister just signed an order placing crypto as one of the top 5 technologies that should be a priority in Vietnam. Here, absolutely, everywhere, as far as I'm concerned. Segueing a little bit into Frontier, but still related to Tomochain, we have this news at frontier.xyz. Frontier forms strategic partnership with Tomochain and adds support for Tomo and TRC21 assets. This collaboration will boost the DeFi ecosystems growing on Tomochain and Frontier's continued efforts to build a cross-chain layer for DeFi protocols. You can read more about here with the link that is provided. Frontier, again, announcing the Frontier USD initiative. This from 3 days ago now. Frontier is proud to share one of our most ambitious initiatives to date, front-backed, synthetic, and stable assets. We are also entering into an official partnership with FinCEN. USDF1 is here. MantraDAO is in the news, the so-called Indian maker. The OM-V2 token migration is here, and they're asking you guys to migrate now to V2. The process to OM-V2 is just a few easy clicks, and they've included this article here, mantradao.medium.com, for a step-by-step explanation on how to go through that process. So that resource is one that you can refer to. The Indian maker, again, they're called that for a reason, and CNBC TV18 here is reporting the fact that India is seeing an 800% gain in cryptocurrency trade volumes since the low point this year, March of 2020. Is it the time to buy cryptocurrencies? Here you have Manisha 3005 speaks with the hosts, I suppose, of the episode there in Vikram Rangala of ZebPay. So check out this link here. Let me know, for you members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, you Indian members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, if this is kind of percolating into the public discussion. An 800% gain in cryptocurrency trade volumes. I'd be curious to know exactly what resources, platforms, exchanges are being included in those statistics, but just kind of an on-the-ground zeitgeist for you Indian members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. What's it like right now? Are people excited about this? Is the hype starting to build? Let me know about that in the comments below. The hype is certainly starting to build in other parts of the world, including North America, everywhere for that matter. On the dailyhodl.com, people, don't tell Peter Schiff, but people are slowly starting to exit gold in favor of what they see as a monetary revolution in many ways. So $51 billion global investment firm Jefferies is selling gold for Bitcoin. This is the kind of article that you have to pinch yourself when you read, but this from just today, $51 billion. A top executive at Jefferies says the billion-dollar investment firm is cutting some gold from its portfolio in favor of Bitcoin. If this isn't an argument to support Bitcoin as the new digital version of gold, I don't know what is. Now, not to be too sensational here, it's not that they're transferring everything into Bitcoin. It's quite clear that it's just a portion of their portfolio, maybe just a small portion even, to be fair. But for them to even acknowledge this kind of move publicly, to me, is groundbreaking. Quote, the 50% weight in physical gold bullion in the portfolio will be reduced for the first time in several years by 5 percentage points with the money invested in Bitcoin. If there is a big drawdown in Bitcoin from the current level after the historic breakout above the $20,000 level, the intention will be to add to this position. And as of right now, just as a reminder, Bitcoin sits at $442 billion market cap. So let's call that $0.442 trillion. As a reminder, gold's market cap, for the sake of rounding, let's call it about $10 trillion. So as of right now, Bitcoin is 4.42% of gold's total market cap. 4.42%. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but I think the tables are going to turn very, very quickly indeed. For a couple of different reasons, we're going to see that number rise. Number one, the value of Bitcoin is only now just really starting to increase exponentially. That's one major factor, of course. And the more and more you have institutions like Jefferies convert their gold supply, their gold allotment in their portfolio to Bitcoin, you're perhaps even going to see the value of gold decrease. So you're going to have two factors inversely working against each other. One, Bitcoin's value going up. Two, gold's value going down. That 4.42% number is going to change. It's going to go much, much higher. That's my prediction made here on the 19th of December. Let me know what you think about it. Certainly Tyler Winklevoss is in our court here. He's on the same wavelength. He has this observation. Every high net worth individual and ultra high net worth individual in the world heard about Bitcoin 3 years ago in 2017. But now this is the first time they're actually doing something about it and buying it in bulk. Guys, if a 51 billion gold portfolio is doing something about it, you can bet that certainly many, many other people are as well. This is really a turning point, and especially, again, right now it's just Daily Hodl, but more and more you're going to see other media outlets cover this kind of news, and I think you're going to see this as a precedent. You're going to see other institutional investment firms, maybe even precious metal firms, follow suit here. This is a big, big deal. And this is hardly relegated to the gold market or the precious metals market. You have multiple large mega firms in the US and across the world that see the writing is on the wall. So credit card giant Visa here, for example, they just announced that they're connecting their global payments network of 50 million merchants to the US dollar coin. That's USDC, which was developed by Circle Internet Financial on the Ethereum blockchain. So this digital currency is worth a few $billion, somewhere I think just below $3 billion. But this is an unbelievable partnership that's also a major signal of what is to come. We're only just getting started, guys. I've been saying that for years, but this is confirmation, validation for all these people to be entering this space so quickly. They're all fighting for a piece of the pie because they realize this is a feeding frenzy, and if they don't act now, they're going to be left with nothing, not even scraps. And of course, and as can be expected, you do have some counter pressures that are coming in, some regulatory pressures that realize what's happening, that want to perhaps take action now while they still can. So CoinDesk here on Twitter, breaking: US crypto users hoping to transfer their holdings from an exchange to their own self-hosted wallets may need to comply with new KYC, know your customer requirements, as the Treasury Department proposed a new rule on Friday. So FinCEN proposes KYC rules for crypto wallets. Taking a look at the CoinDesk article, we're not going to launch into this for the purposes of this video. I think this is a much broader discussion that we'll kind of address more squarely and head on. A couple of problems with this from my perspective. Number one, this is yet another just, in my opinion, again, futile effort to regulate a space that cannot be regulated ultimately. And so what? If they know that you're transferring your funds off of one exchange onto one wallet, that wallet is by no means the final destination of those funds that you've transferred. It may be a partial victory on the part of the US Treasury because at least at that point they'll have your name. They'll know at one point you did have access to however many Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or other crypto you transferred from an exchange into a wallet. But that wallet, I mean, is just perhaps one step in the chain. You can send it to 100 other different wallets if you so choose. So just my opinion, but as it stands right now, I don't see this as being any kind of a leverage, a position of leverage that the Treasury can take advantage of if the wallets are something that, again, you can just send your funds to and from quite freely. They will, however, know your name. You will be in their system. So that's the one grain of perhaps concern and consideration that we have to examine here. But this is a developing story. More on this very soon. Ultimately, my baseline and default opinion is that any regulatory efforts by governments when it comes to Bitcoin, when it comes to crackdowns, are futile. We're in a space that is far too decentralized. So here you have Steve Mnuchin approaching, what he views as the problem of Bitcoin with a very antiquated set of tools and very antiquated thinking. Let me know your thoughts about that, guys, in the comments below. We're going to launch into that in future subsequent videos in more detail here. Now we have some updates from multiple projects to finish off the video here, beginning with Falcon Swap. So Falcon Swap FSW is now available on the Dharma wallet. You can now buy FSW tokens with USD directly from Uniswap protocol using Dharma HQ. Just follow the simple steps by visiting that website here that is linked to #DeFi, #crypto decentralized trading. So kudos to our friends over at Falcon Swap. Another one of our early selections, our early projects going back a few months that we indicated really should be on your radar. Fuse Network, with this update from yesterday, have you tested our new product inspired by AMM-based swap protocols like Uniswap? Swap ERC20 tokens for lowest fees paid in the Fuse token, bridge ERC20 tokens between Fuse Network and Ethereum Mainnet, and provide liquidity for Fuse swap pools. You can read more about that on fuseswap.peak.link. Crypto Differ here talking about ANKR. They're teaming up with ONX Finance to hold an airdrop of ONX tokens to all ANKR holders. All users holding ANKR tokens on Coin 1, Upbit, BitThumb at the time of the snapshot will automatically receive ONX at a 1 to 10,000 ratio. Read more about that on medium.com/ANKR. Again, this may apply to you, so if you're one of those individuals for whom this is applicable, 1 to 10,000 ratio, you will receive ONX. ANKR have also launched support for Avalanche AX nodes. It is now super easy for Avalanche clients to run a staking or developer node. Try it now on app.ankr.com. And moving right along, Pancake Swap here. Achievement unlock. Pancake Swap cumulative volume over $1 billion US. Yes, that's $1 billion USD, all on Binance Smart Chain, PancakeSwap.finance. They're getting a personalized congratulations here by CZ Binance, Changpeng Zhao himself. Congrats, he says, and deservedly so. $1 billion. I mean, these are just huge numbers, guys. It's unbelievable what's happening in this space. Moving right along, Orion Partner Ecosystem. We're developing partnerships with leading projects across multiple sectors, including Elrond Network, Chainlink, Forbes, WeWork, Blockchain RI, Polkastarter, BitMax Official, Injective Labs, and more. You can read more about that on blog.orionprotocol.io. And finally, for today, we come to the end of this deluge of altcoin news, which in my opinion is only getting started. I think this is going to increase maybe exponentially price-wise and news-wise. But here we have Changpeng Zhao again. This weekend, our team has been discussing an accelerated burn program for BNB. More details to come. Also welcoming any suggestions or bright ideas. So an accelerated burn program for BNB. There's really not any more news about this at the moment. CZ tweeted this out just 9 hours ago at the time of this recording. So stay tuned. We do expect to be able to report more on that in the very near future, but nothing at the moment. If you do have any suggestions, then be sure to reply to CZ Binance on Twitter. Let them know what your thoughts are about this so-called accelerated burn program initiative for BNB. Stay tuned. Well, everybody, that about wraps it up for today. As always, it is like trying to drink out of a fire hose. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into the website, altcoinbuzz.io, for all the latest. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications if you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, I'm imploring you, whether or not you take the advice, whether or not you agree with some of the observations, it's never financial advice, but join our discussions. Join our Trade Signal Telegram group. Pay attention to what we're highlighting as useful and upcoming tokens, because there are many other GRTs out there in this space. There are many other projects that are going to be coming up on 100, 200, 3, 4, 500% gains in the near future. So at your discretion, obviously be responsible, be judicious, do your legwork and homework, but pay attention to some of the things that we uncover and that we're highlighting, because we do so for good reason. And in most cases, none of this stuff is sponsored. Of course, when content is sponsored, then we alert you to that. But in most cases, we're just excited about it, and highlighting it because we want to share what we've discovered and our observations. So do be sure to join those Trade Signals groups, guys, on Telegram. I'll link to that and pin it in the comments below. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this weekend. Stay safe, everybody. As always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.